MYP assessment is a very daunting task to some. Whether you're a brand new teacher or you have been teaching for a long time in the IB program, most teachers rank this their highest challenge. When I lead workshops, this is the number one question I get is what do we assess and how? So I'm hoping that this little slideshow recording will help you understand how we assess an MYP. First of all, let's take a look at what MYP assessment is. Is it this or is it that? Most teachers want to know how will, especially early on, how do I grade in the MYP? And specifically, will my grades be letters of the alphabet? And the easy answer is no. Your grades for MYP are not letters of the alphabet, they are achievement levels instead. So I know a lot of us have to report out grades at our district or national levels with a letter of the alphabet. You can figure out how to do that, but it's not, an MYP does not recognize the letters of the alphabet. Will my grades tell me if students are smarter or less smart than someone else? And again, the answer is no. MYP really is taking a look at a snapshot in time of a student. So, what will the MYP grades tell teachers, students, and parents? So, what they do is they tell us where a student is at a certain time with a certain task. So, let's take a look at a very simplistic assignments. Let's look at drawings of bees. So we're just going to take a look at these three different products here for drawings of bees. And I'm going to ask you which one's the best drawing. And it really depends on what we're looking for, right? Which one's the best. So what do we mean by the best? You know, is it the most creative, the most complex, the easiest to draw, the most lifelike? Which is the best? What's our criteria? So our criteria determines our rubric of what we're going to do. So with this bee drawing, the first criteria we're going to look at is color, and we're going to develop a rubric. So if you look here, we have three different achievement levels. A level 1 uses no color, level 2 uses color, and level 3 uses fun, bright colors. If we look at the next two, we have drawing skill and accuracy. So we're going to look at these. So with drawing skill, if it's very easy, a child could probably make it. It's not really realistic looking. That would be a level 1. A medium would be, okay, a child could probably draw it with some help. It's somewhat realistic. And a 3 in drawing skill is it's difficult. So it's a very realistic image and would take a lot of skill to create. And finally, for accuracy, we're looking at how accurate is the drawing. It's not accurate, like it's not lifelike. It's mostly accurate, which means it is like lifelike, or it's accurate and labeled. So there's a key for the accuracy, what we're looking for. So let's take a look at how we would start assessing our little bees. So if we look at this first drawing, this is my fun drawing. It's kind of friendly looking little bee. It's probably the kind of drawing of a bee I would make, to be honest. And how would we score it? Does it use color? Yes, it uses color. Are the colors fun and bright? It is a pretty bright color. So we could give that a 3 because it's fun looking, it's bright, cheery. So now we're going to look at drawing skill. And with drawing skill, we can look at this. Is it easy? Maybe a child could make it. Is it, medium, or is it hard? We could probably agree this is the most childlike drawing that we would have. And if we look at accuracy and adding that piece in, is it accurate, mostly accurate, accurate and labeled? Probably we'd say it's not really an accurate drawing. It kind of looks like a cartoon. So we're going to use those same 3 criteria and the same rubrics to look at the next 2 drawings. So with this first one, it uses color, but it's not necessarily fun, bright colors. It's kind of muted. So we would probably give that a 2. for looking at the drawing skill, thinking about that, it's, definitely not an easy drawing. It's pretty realistic, and you can see, like, if you blew it up, you could see even more details. So I would say it's a pretty difficult drawing. It took a lot of skill to create this lifelike looking bee. So we would do that. Now, when we think about accuracy, if you remember the rubric, this is definitely an accurate, looks like a bee, right? But if you remember, the highest descriptor said it had to be labeled. So we could not give it even though this is a beautiful drawing of a bee, we could not rank it, and it's accurate, but it's not also labeled. So it would fall down to the 2 category for accuracy. So let's take a look at that last drawing now. First for color, and this is easy. There is no color, so it would be a 1. Now think about that drawing skill and what it would have. Is this so easy a child could do it, or is it really artistic and difficult? We'd probably rank it as the medium. With some help, a child could draw it. It's somewhat realistic, but there's not like really any sketching skills. None of those art concepts represented. And finally, with accuracy, this is where this one shines, because remember, the top level is accurate and labeled. So this one is labeled, so it would get like a 3 there. So here's an overall look at where these different bees ranked. Definitely the highest score here would be the middle bee. You see it has a 2, a 3, and a 2. And if they just labeled it, it would have been the highest all around. So part of this, and what I wanted to show you with this, is how important it is to define your criteria and what that means for your students. Like, for example, if the students had seen the rubric ahead of time, probably more of them would have labeled the B, and you'd have higher scores. Or if you knew that you were supposed to use color, the student who did the black and white version but labeled it would have known to color it. So giving those clear expectations and guidance is so important to students. Okay, so it's time to get started. First of all, pick any assignment to start. If you've not been using MYP criteria, do so. Even if it's just a short paragraph and you're working on the communication rubric for your subject, do that. Just pick something. If you're a math teacher, do a word problem on a test that you can assess with a rubric. Anything that you could assess with a rubric, do so. And just start small. Take those baby steps. Make sure you use a rubric that has explanations. Be clear with your expectations to your students, and it will be so much easier. You can also create a task sheet to help guide your students to be specific, to have things like use color, label all the parts, all those kind of things that you can put in a task sheet. In task sheets, I might put stuff like use a minimum of 3 resources, with at least 1 being a book source. So they're not all looking at the internet. So that might be something I put in my task sheet. And just remember that practice is going to make you better. Don't be afraid of MYP assessment. Just do it, as Nike used to say. That's it, and good luck with assessment.